Hey tubes, we're back at it again. This is the wheel horse restoration project number 5. This is a Toro 520 LXI. I have it in 2 times speed. We were working the frame over, just got done working on some of the engine, getting it cleaned up, and we flipped back over into the frame. Right now I took the battery box out and the attach-o-matic system as well off the front. Each one of those pieces I ended up cleaning them up, grinding them down, sanding them, repainting them. There were some places in it where there were some good steel gouges and some slag from welding, so I went ahead and cleaned all that up. And in the video I put all the bolts back into where their little spots were, laid that out on a cardboard and marked everything so that way they could all go back together. I also took out the back attach-o-matic area. I wanted to make sure that that mid area attach-o-matic was put back into place as well when I was done. So what I did is I removed all that, took all the hardware out, cleaned all the hardware. The bolts and nuts were all very good, and the washers were very good. So we went ahead and kept those. Just got them cleaned up. Some of the bars and such on the attach-o-matic, they were very greasy and muddy and dirty and scratched up, so I went ahead, knowing that they're going to get scratched up again, I went ahead and tore all that apart. Then we moved on to taking the frame and lifting it up again and up in the front, and then we removed the front axle. It wasn't too hard. There's 2 bolts. I think they're 9/16 inch bolts on the back side of the pivoting rod. Went to pull all that out. Of course, the rod had been, rusted on the inside, so we had to spin it in order to get it out. And once I got it out, I noticed that the back side of the rod actually was breaking its weld from the plate. So we went ahead and had that re-welded, got that done, and I got that primered, repainted. Then I finished up my day here on this by scraping and grinding away on the frame. I took a wire brush on the end of a grinder and ground away at the attach-o-matic decals and all the paint to give it a nice rough surface. The wire brush I used works really well and really does eat into the surface, so when I went to put my primer on, it went on beautifully. So we sat here, we grind away at the front of the frame, moved our way back to the radiator area. That grinder worked really well and can't complain whatsoever. Got all the surface rust off when I did that, got all the deeper rust off, got the areas where the paint was chipping up. Took the air hose to it to finalize right before doing primering, wiped it down with a cleaner, and went to the next step of getting it ready to prime. But at this point that night I went ahead and stopped and did my primer the next day. Stay tuned to see more of the Toro Wheel Horse 520 LXI rebuild restoration.